أولى الحلقات في برنامج سوبر رجعنا لكم مرة ثانية، وبنرجع إن شاء الله مفاجآت أكبر بأسماء كبيرة. في الموسم الأول ولله الحمد توفقنا بأسماء كبيرة، والآن نرجع بأسماء كبيرة أيضا في عالم كرة القدم. وإن شاء الله في هالموسم تستمتعون معنا. عودة مرة أخرى ب10 حلقات موسم كامل بإذن الله. راح نكون معاكم بالصيف، يعني تقريبا من نهاية الموسم لغاية الصيف. أكيد إن شاء الله راح نحاول أن نستمتع مع بعض، خصوصا أن في الوقت راح تدخل بطولة كأس العالم للأندية، أيضا حتى دوري الأمم الأوروبية. في أول حلقاتنا ويسلي شنايدر، الحب كله دائما ويسلي شنايدر اسمه مرتبط في رياض مدريد وفي الانتر على وجه الخصوص، طبعا بعد مسيرته في اياكس ثم غلط سراي، ايضا نادي نيس الفرنسي، وثم الغرافه القطري، وصولات الجولات مع المنتخب الهولندي. جيل ذهبي كان صراحه، حسافه ان هالجيل هذا ما تتوج بشيء، كان يستحق اكيد بطوله تليق بالاسماء اللي موجوده معاهم. وهالمره الراعي الحصري والاعلاني شركه ام2ار، الراعي الاعلامي الحصري لبرنامج سوبر. هذه الشركه على وجه الخصوص من الشركات المميزة اللي تقدم خدمة إعلامية متكاملة. يعني خلونا أقول لكم الخدمة الإعلامية المتكاملة، وليش بالذات إحنا اخترنا ام2ار. ام2ار بصراحة متميزين، اذكياء ما شاء الله عليهم، عندهم نشاط قوي في الكويت. تخيل إن يمتلكون أكثر من 100 شاشة، بس ال 100 شاشة وين؟ متوزعين في المناطق الحيوية، في أهم المناطق. والمناطق هذه يعني تناسب في كل الفترات، في الجمعيات، في الأسواق، في المجمعات، في الأماكن الاستراتيجية، في المباركية وغيرها من الأمور، وشاشات وتقنيات على مستوى عالي جدا. بالإضافة لذلك إن هم يعني شركة متكاملة. لما نقول 360 يعني مغطين جميع الجوانب، متواجدين في السينما. عارفين حضور السينما دائما الناس تحضر موجودة، فام2ار موجودين في السينما، بالإضافة لوجودهم في الراديو. فكل بيت وكل سيارة راح يسمعون ويعرفون شركة ودعاية ام2ار اللي تقدم خدمات متكاملة، وحتى يمتلكون خطة تسويق تساعدكم في هذا الأمر. شركة ام2ار انتشارها ما شاء الله تبارك الرحمن في كل الكويت. فاحنا برنامج سوبر ليش حرصنا على شركة ام2ار؟ لأن ودنا في الانتشار، أكيد البرنامج ينتشر أكثر، وبالتالي نشكرهم أكيد على هذا الدعم. هم طبعا مو بس في الراديو ولا بس بالسينما ولا حتى الشاشات اللي منتشرة في كل الأماكن. على فكرة الشاشات منتشرة في كل الأماكن، موجودة في المجمعات، في أماكن استراتيجية وين الناس تروح أكثر شيء. فبالتالي الناس لما تتمشى بالمجمع تشوف إعلانات شاشات ام2ار، شاشات كبيرة جدا. أيضا حتى الدعاية جاذبة لما تشوف الشاشة. بالإضافة للباصات، يعني حتى اللي طالع بالسيارة مو بس يسمعك بالراديو، لا أيضا ممكن يشوف حتى في باصات متواجدين ام2ار، ولهم تواجد. شركة متكاملة تعتمد على الذكاء الصناعي، تعتمد على فريق تسويق على مستوى عالي جدا، وراح تشوفون تأثيره حتى في هذا البرنامج من ناحية الانتشار. أيضا هم ما شاء الله عليهم حتى في السوشيال ميديا متميزين ام2ار. احنا جدا سعيدين بالتعاون معاكم في هذا البرنامج، وإن شاء الله خطوة خطوة نصعد مع بعض أكثر وأكثر، ودائما اللي يتعاون مع ام2ار يصل للقمة بسرعة. ويسلي شنايدر لازم تاخذ المحطات معينة، تتكلم عن محطته في الانتر، في ريال مدريد، في غلط سراي، وتبدا تتعمق فيهم. بصراحه حبيت اللاعب، راح تشوفون المقابله ليش حبيت اكثر. احنا اساسا نحبه، كلنا نحبه، انا ما اتوقع ان في احد ما يحب شنايدر. شنايدر لاعب ممتع جدا، يتميز بالتسديدات، الكرات الثابته، الاهداف الجميله. فانا اعتقد يعني المقابله راح تستانسوا فيها، انا شخصيا استانست فيها، وراح اترككم مع هذه المقابله. بس قبل لا اترككم مع المقابله، فانز تيكت، اذا ودك تحضر مباراه في الدوري الانجليزي، في الدوري الاسباني، الايطالي، دوري الابطال، دوري الامم، المهم كل البطولات الاوروبيه الكبرى يوفرها فاز تيكت. يعني لا تقول والله بس هو ليفربول ولا بس هو مدريد، لا لا، كل المباريات اللي في بالك، كل البطولات الاوروبيه راح يوفرونها لكم بافضل اسعار. خدمه ما بعد البيع، اذا اشتريت منهم تذكره مو يطرشك التذكره ويقول لك شكرا، لا، يتابع معاك. في ناس تبعهم موجودين اساسا في الملعب، فانت لا سمح الله صارت لك مشكله هم موجودين في الملعب يساعدونك للدخول للملعب. يعني حتى مثلا في شخص لا سمح الله صار في موقف، شخص ما استخدم الباركود بالشكل الصحيح فراح عليه الاسكان، على طول التعويض كان موجود، سواء في باركود ثاني يطلبونه من النادي او في انه يدخلك الملعب، لان تكون في عندهم كميه من التذاكر يساعدونك بدخول الملعب بالفئه اللي تختارها. انت مثلا والله ميزانيتك مثلا ما تساعد ان انت مثلا تقعد في افضل مكان في الملعب، تقول والله انا ميزانيتي كذي، رايح وسفره ومتكلف، عندي احضر هالمباراه على السريع، يوفر لك ميزانيه تناسب معاك في المكان اللي يناسبك. وايضا خدمات الفي اي بي موجوده وتشمل كل شيء، اي في اي بي تبيه في اي ملعب من الملاعب الاوروبيه يوفرها لك وبافضل اسعار. مو بس ورا الجول يعطيك افضل سعر، لا، حتى مثلا في منتصف الملعب، في الواجهه، في الجزء العلوي السفلي، حسب طلبك بيوفر لك اياه، وبتلاحظ ان السعر افضل سعر والخدمه والاهتمام. فهي مو موضوع فقط تقديم تذكره، لا هو موضوع تقديم خدمه متكامله. ومبلشين حاليا في تذاكر مباراه فقط، وان شاء الله مع الوقت راح يتوسعون اكثر واكثر واضمن لكم اياهم من الاخر. والحين نترككم مع مقابلتنا مع ويسلي شنايدر. First of all, welcome Wesley Schneider, one of the greatest players, and thanks for accepting our invitation.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
When we talk about your career, you really started very well at a young age at Ajax, and you went from the biggest club in Netherlands to the biggest club in the world, Real Madrid. So tell us about this story.
You know, to be honest, I said to myself, I set myself goals always. So when I was in the youth in the academy of Ajax, I said, okay, listen, my next step, my first goal is to be a first team player in Ajax. Then when I achieved that, I said to myself, when I will move to a bigger competition, to a bigger club, I want to have the full experience of the Dutch league. I don't want to leave after just a year, after a good year. Then some players have the feeling like, okay, now I'm capable enough to go to another club or whatever. No, I said to myself, let's stay just like 4 or 5 years to get more matured, to get more experience, to be a national team player, and then there will be the next step. So on that point, after 5 years, I had a wonderful season in the last season, and actually Valencia was about to sign me, but as I said to myself, like, listen, if I go to the Spanish league, I will go for obviously the biggest club. So I was like, or Barcelona or Real Madrid. My feeling was more with Real Madrid because I was really, as a child, I was really into Real Madrid. So Valencia came and I was almost done with them about signing and stuff. But then I said to myself, no, this is not the step that I want to make. So I canceled that, and 2 weeks later, Peja Mijatovic, he came to Amsterdam, to the airport. He invited me and my manager to come over, and he said, "Listen, this is the contract that we want to give to you. Take it or leave it." And we were like, of course we will take it, because on that point the money is not important. You will be, on the moment you sign the contract, you will be a player of Real Madrid. So that was for me a dream that came true. So I signed immediately, and I became a Real Madrid player.
And for sure, when we talk about Real Madrid, of course, we will talk about the Clásico. Yeah, you really won at a Clásico 4-1. This is a big result, and it really made Real Madrid fans happy. So tell us about your feeling.
Yeah, and it was also like a couple of days after that we became champion in Pamplona. We won over there and we became champions. So a few days later, we needed to play this game in Bernabeu against Barcelona. It's the first time in history actually that the Barcelona players, they make the pasillo. They need to be on the pitch already before us, and they need to cheer for us. Like that was something crazy. And then we played a wonderful game. What I remember is that all the stadium, all Bernabeu was all dressed in white. And it became a wonderful evening, like 4-1.
When you arrive at Real Madrid, we know how good you really are with free kicks, Wesley Sniper, as the fans call you. So there was a competition, yeah, because Sergio Ramos as well, he also takes free kicks sometimes. And the following year, after you joined Real Madrid, there was also Van der Vaart, who also good, very good at free kicks.
Yeah, but the moment I arrived, I directly make sure that I'm the one who take the free kicks, And of course, Sergio Ramos, he know how to shoot as well. Rafa van der Vaart, he shoot from the other side, but he came a year later. I was really comfortable with taking free kicks, and more than with penalty kicks, by the way. So the free kicks, they were mine.
For Real Madrid, the biggest club in the world, I think it's not enough to only just win the league. Yeah, you won the league there, but the fans were fed up. They really want to win all the competitions around.
No, Real Madrid fans, they are never satisfied with just a league. They want the Champions League. They want everything. So just winning the league, of course, it's for me in the first season to win the league directly is something amazing. But We had a very disappointing season in Champions League in that year. So that's what the fans in Madrid really want, the Champions League. As they are the record holder now for many years already. So, I mean, like, the fans in Madrid, they are never satisfied. Not even when you win everything. They want more. Even though there's no cup more to win, they want that cup.
And during your time at Real Madrid, Ben Schuster was there, and when he was sacked before a Clásico, he said that Real Madrid has no chance to win at the Clásico. What do you think about what he said?
No, actually, you know, when a coach is leaving, you have to understand that the moment the coach left, there's a new coach. So there's a new coach with different philosophy. There's a new coach with different way of playing. So you cannot look back on that time to what the previous coach is telling about the things, you know, the problems between him and the club, you know, because we go on with the new coach, and we have to be focused on the way the new coach wants us to play. So for us, there's no time to look back. You know, always you have to look in front and to go for the next games and for the next training session. So, you know, I didn't even read all this news about the things, because that's always when a coach is sacked, they start fighting with the club in the media or not in the media, whatever. But we as players, we need to stay focused.
And I think you will not hide your smile now, because we are talking about Inter Milan. Really great career there for you, Wesley. And I think you really played before training. Your debut, first game, I think you played straight into the lineup without even training. So tell us about the story against Milan in the derby.
Yeah, I arrived on the Thursday evening. On Friday, I had the medicals and everything. And the coach Mourinho, he told me directly, like, okay, so here's your suit, because tomorrow we have a game against AC Milan, the derby, and you need to play. And I said, like, wait, I didn't even train with the guys. I don't know the guy. He said, doesn't matter, because you are the missing part. You are the missing number 10 for being successful with this team. And I said, okay, it's fine. So I went to the training camp, and I was in the room with Christian Kivu, that already knew from Ajax time. So I talked the whole evening with Christian and about the team, about the players, and about everything. Then Jose Mourinho, he came inside the room and he gave me just the DVD. And that time we had the DVD to put in your computer and to watch your opponent on for the next day, you know. So I did that. He explained me a little bit, and he said, like, listen, you're also going to start from the first minute. You're not on the bench. You start from the first minute because I believe in you. So he directly gave me the confidence, the full confidence, you know, wearing the number 10, being a player of Inter Milan. And the next day we played a game that was incredible. It was an incredible game.
Was Mourinho contacting you before you have joined Inter Milan?
No, it was Jose Mourinho. He was the one who was contacting me. Sometimes through me, sometimes through my agent, but he was the one personally who was contacting. And instead of all the other transfers I have made, when there was a technical director or the president who was contacting us, this time it was the coach, because he was really feeling like that I was the missing part. So for 2 weeks we had contact, but at that time I didn't want to leave Real Madrid, because I felt like I didn't succeed there. So I wanted to go on, but obviously it was in a difficult moment. So I had to, after 2 weeks of talking to Jose Mourinho, who really convinced me to go to Inter Milan, I said, okay, let's go. And a year later we came back. We came back in that stadium in Bernabeu to play the Champions League final with Inter Milan. So it was at the end, it was a beautiful story.
Another derby, Wesley, and the derby was against Milan. And you were sent off in the first half. I know it's difficult for you. It's also difficult for the players and for the manager. What did Mourinho tell you at the halftime?
Yeah, but everybody thinks for Mourinho that he's a defending coach, but he's not. He's just reading the game, and he's reading the moment. And if the moment says that you have to push more, instead of leaning back and defend the 3 points, you know, that's not the way of Mourinho wants. Mourinho is really like looking, analyzing the game on that moment, and then he tell us what to do. So if even if you are with 10, so with one behind, and you feel that you are better, so that you can push, and to even to keep the pressure there, because you know when you keep the opponent on their own half, they cannot score. So you know all the teams, they make this mistake. They score one goal, and then at the end they're gonna drop back. They wait for them to come, but then they're on your half, so there's more possibility to score. So if you keep them there, they can't score. So that's what he always tells us. Like when you're leading, keep the pressure there, even if you are with one man behind, because they feel if you give them the space, if you give them the confidence to play, all players will grow and then become better during the game. So keep the pressure on them.
Another big game, and it was against Barcelona for the first leg, the Champions League semi-final. We know that Barcelona were there at their peaks. Yeah, they really reached a very high level, one of the greatest teams in football. So when we talk about it, they went 1-0 against you in Giuseppe Meazza. So how did you deal with that, especially with the pressure? And we know how good they are, and they always make the position.
Yeah, because that game started actually the day before the game, when we had a meeting with Jose Mourinho, and normally our meetings, they were like 10-15 minutes, not more, because we were all like focused on our performance, not really on the opponent. But on that game, the night before the game, we had a meeting of 45 minutes. During the meeting, everybody start to have a feeling about we can beat them. We can really beat them if we do the things what he is saying, because there are the weaknesses of Barcelona. If we are able to do that, we can beat them, because we have quality. They also have a lot of quality, but also they have weaknesses, as we have as well, but they also have. So we were all like, after the meeting, we had a dinner with the team together before we went to sleep. And we were talking between the players, and we said, like, listen, if we do this, you know, because really on that side, you know, they have the weaknesses there and there. So if we can do that, if you can manage to do that and you that, then we can beat them. But the next day, we came 1-0 behind, like very, very soon, you know, in the game. But we stay calm, because we had this in mind. Like, still, they have the weaknesses. They have the points, the spots where we can hurt them. So we kept on playing the way that we wanted to play. That game could be a historical game. We could beat them like 8, 9, 10, 1 even, you know, because we were pushing, and we had a lot of chances. Of course, we were a bit lucky also at the end of the game, you know, when we a little bit dropped back and they came. Maybe they needed the penalty kick or whatever, but it doesn't matter. You know, when you beat Barcelona at home 3-1, we knew even if we had to go to Camp Nou, we knew that we were qualified for the final. We knew that.
Inter Milan are always full of leaders. Yeah, back to your time, I think there was a leader in every position.
Yeah, true.
And for the second leg, I think it's a different story, more difficult story, because it was at Camp Nou, and we know how difficult it is to play at Camp Nou, full of fans there, and there was always sent off for Thiago Motta in the first half.
You know, as you mentioned, we were like all leaders. So we knew that this kind of things could have happened, like an early send-off, an early goal against. But we always stay like really matured and really focused on, okay, they are allowed to score one goal, nothing more. Unless they score one goal, we keep on fighting, we keep on defending, we keep on sometimes being dirty on the pitch, you know, because that's what you need to be sometimes. And yeah, that happened, but what we were afraid of, early send-off of Thiago Motta. But still, we knew that, okay, we are with 10, we can still, defend. And because they still didn't score a goal, you know. I mean, we have a send-off, but it's still 0-0, and still they need to score 2 goals, you know, to get through. So we kept on fighting till the end. even when they scored, we kept our focus. I went off the pitch. I went inside the dressing room on the toilet, and I was there hiding, you know. and then I heard a lot of noise because they scored a second goal, but it was offside. I don't know if you remember, but they scored the second goal and it was offside. And then at the end, I was there still in the toilet, and then the kid man, he came screaming inside the dressing room, yeah, final. So then I came out and I started running directly on the pitch, and you know, all the they closed the lights in the stadium, they put the water on, they were really like heartbroken, man.
And there was always noise around when it was offside. I think the word stopped for a minute.
Yeah. When the kidman came back in and he started screaming like final, I went out, I put my jersey back on, and I go back on the pitch.
And for Mourinho, I would like to know, what did he tell you at halftime against Barcelona? Especially it's a difficult game.
Keep on going what we were doing, because we were defending well all together. Even with the strikers, we were defending. So he didn't even talk, actually. He said, like, keep on doing what you are doing because you are doing great. And if we keep on doing this way, we will go to the final. Really short.
To reach the final with that difficult route, and especially after the war against Barcelona, how confident you were in the final?
This is Jose Mourinho. You know, this is what makes him special. You know, and everybody respect him, and you know, he's like he's playing games, small games, you know, by saying something to make something, even if it's not a big thing. The player and the coach, they start to think about, hey, wait a second, what he's saying, you know? Does he have something in mind what he will do if we score or whatever? Yeah, he is like that.
Yeah, and in the final, how confident were you there?
Oh, we were really confident. We knew that we were strong enough to take the cup home. Even Bayern, they had a great team, you know, but we also knew that Ribéry was not playing in the final, so that was for us was good news for us. We were complete with all the players that played the whole season, so we knew that we will beat them, you know. But of course, you cannot think too much about that because you still need to play the final, and about underestimate opponents. You can never underestimate opponents, especially not in a Champions League final. But you need to have the confidence, and you need to have the confidence to tell each other, like, hey, we have quality enough to beat this team, you know. And if you are confident enough, and if you are all fully focused and 100% concentrated, at the end you will win.
A lot of big players left their teams to join Inter Milan. I think they were there to prove a point. For example, Lucio have left Bayern Munich, and for you have left Real Madrid. Also Eto'o, he also left Barcelona. You were at their peaks, and a lot of great players.
It's, as I said in the beginning of this interview, I said, like, I never look back, right? So I always look in front. So the moment that you raise the cup, what was really a dream for me, to raise the Champions League cup, then you want to win it again. And you don't look back like, okay, they hurted me, they didn't want me, I want to give them a payback. No. The moment that I raised the cup, I said, wow, this is amazing. Next year I want to do the same, you know, and the next year the same, and the next year the same. So there's no time to look back, and to look back about not even neither the good periods and the bad periods, you know.
And when you have left Inter Milan, I think you were really close to join Liverpool. How true that was?
Yeah, true. But that on that moment, Liverpool was not the Liverpool they are now. So they were not actually playing for prizes. They were always the number 5, the number 6 of the league. And as I told you before, I love to win cups, to raise cups. So when Galatasaray came, also I was like, okay, Galatasaray is a big club in Turkey. You know, they always play for the title. I have a lot of Turkish. There's a big community, Turkish community in Holland. So we also grew up with the passion and the emotion of the Turkish football. So then I said to my father, like, listen, I think I will choose for Galatasaray because it's a great experience, it's a new culture, it's a new city, it's everything, and I love the people, the atmosphere, and everything in the stadiums. I love that, you know, and at the end we play for prizes, and at the end I won a lot of prizes in Istanbul, so it was worth it.
And of course, when you mentioned Galatasaray, we always remember your game at Juve. Yeah, the game was postponed for another day, but that was a great game that you knocked out.
The first half, we played the first half. It was 0-0, and we needed to score. We needed to win 1-0. It was a lot of snow during the game, so we were not able to continue. So in the halftime it got cancelled. And we needed to play the next day because within 24 hours you need to finish the game. We were really surprised about the fans who came also the day after, you know, like, because we thought like, okay, we play midday, people need to work, so it's impossible for the fans to come. But anyway, they came. So they cleaned the whole pitch, they cleaned everything. We started to do the warming up. The moment we start to do the warming up, it started to snow again. So it was really crazy. So even the second half, the pitch was not good enough, you know, not well prepared to continue the game, but we needed to continue the game. And then this ball came, and I was just like, I was tired, you know, 2 days. We didn't sleep for a long time because, you know, we came late back in the hotel and everything. So I was just like, okay, the ball came, it all went in my head in the slow motion mode, you know. So the ball came and I started running, and I said, like, Drogba, of course he will win, you know. I started running, and I said, if he wins it, the ball will drop there. And I started to run just to that point. And everything happened what I was like imagining, you know, like he hit the ball, it came in front of my feet. I saw the goal. I said, okay, there's the goal, and I shoot, and I looked that way, and the ball went in. Minute 86, and there was a big explosion in the stadium. You know, we beat as Galatasaray, we beat Juventus, and we went to the next round. So that was crazy. It was amazing.
And I think Inter Milan fans were happy that you beat Juventus.
Oh, of course. Yeah, they are big rivals. Yeah.
And I think you were really close to Man United. How true that was?
That's what I found out later. I found out later that I was really close to Man United. That was after the year that I won the Champions League with Inter. But what I heard later is that my manager at that time, my agent, he asked like money for himself, you know, and then the deal got cancelled. Obviously, I didn't know that at that point. Otherwise, I would tell my agent like, "Hey, stop doing that," you know. But yeah, that I heard like years later when Sir Alex Ferguson met my father in Manchester in a hotel somewhere, like years later, and he told my father the story. So we found out many years later.
Wesley, I would like to ask you, how many times people mention you about the Ballon d'Or 2010?
Every day, every day when I'm. It doesn't matter where I am. When I'm walking on the streets here in Greece, even they're telling me like, "Hey Wes, you really deserve the Ballon d'Or in 2010." I say, "Yes, I know." But you know what? For me, it's more actually still that the people now are talking about it 14 years later, like that I deserve the Ballon d'Or in 2010. I prefer it that way than winning it in 2010 and people are saying like, yeah, but he didn't deserve it, you know. So I'm more happy now that still the people they are saying this every day, day in, day out. They're telling me that I'm the one who deserved it. Then I'm happy about that, and I'm more happy about a team prize, so that we raise the trophy, the Champions League trophy, all together with the team, instead of winning the Ballon d'Or and not raising the Champions League.
And your speech back to 2010, your speech was really emotional. Everyone was emotional when you talked about Mourinho.
Yeah, even him. Even Jose, he was also emotional. He started crying a little bit. Yeah, but you know, that's me. You know, I don't look back. Never, only look in front.
But you really are a role model for all the kids, all the children, all the players, because you really respect your manager.
Yeah.
And my last question will be about your Arabic language, because I saw you a video in a wedding and you were singing in Arabic words. So tell us about that story.
Yeah, Zina. Babylon.
How did you learn Arabic, and how many words, Arabic words, you know?
Now I know a few Arabic words, but you know, when I listen to a song and when I hear a song and I like the song, I start to listen it more, as everybody does. But me, I'm really good in languages. As I speak like Italian, Spanish, English, German, Dutch, everything. Turkish I understand also, but if I listen to the lyrics and everything, it really I really put it in my mind, and if I sing it for 3-4 times, it's here and it will never go out. Even though I don't know what they are singing, because I didn't know in the beginning. I know the words and I know the pronunciation of everything. So yeah, and you know, sometimes you need to have fun in life. When they ask you to sing it, sing it.
And what Arabic words do you know?
Yeah, what I know. Yeah, what can I say? Merhaba. You know, I know a good one. I don't know if it's the one. I learned that one in Qatar. Magula. You have that one?
Yeah. I know.
You know, they were saying Magula.
Really?
Yeah, that's funny. Really.
Yeah.
Even my son, he's 8. He was at that moment. He was like 3, and he's still now. He understands Magula. So he's not saying Willie, he's saying Magula. Yeah, nice.
Wesley, thank you very much for your time with us.
Thank you very much. خلاص.
Enough.
I wish you all the best.
Wonderful day. Bye. Cheers.
Thank you very much. Bye.
تلوموني يا جماعة، تلوموني يا ناس، تكفى يا انفنتينو، رجعنا الكرة الذهبية 2010، يستاهل هالشرح.